Hey everyone, if you've been following us, then you know I am an ENFP.
And I'm an INTJ.
I should have said my name too. I'm Stevie.
I have no name.
Matilda. And that's Lisa. And today we're going to talk about the misconceptions of both of our MBTI personality type, because there's quite a lot of them, and there's probably going to be a part 1, part 2, maybe even a part 8. And we're also going to do a video later on tips and tricks that can help you if you are one of our types, or if you know someone that you're having a hard time with, or just want to learn how to be more compatible. So here are 5 misconceptions about ENFPs and 5 misconceptions about INTJs. Let's go. Okay, so I will start. As an ENFP, one of the big misconceptions, number 1, is promiscuity. Promiscuity. That didn't sound right. Promiscuity. They like to have sex a lot, but no, that's not it. They like to have different partners. It comes from the idea that ENFPs need change in order to survive. And this is a misconception that it's just super strong in everybody, but that's not the case. I was one of these people that, I would get bored of a girlfriend and then want a new one, but I think that's also part of being a young guy. Oh, shoot. But a story I like to tell people is I met a girl online before I met Lisa, and she was an Instagram model, which means she's really good with angles, and we'll get to that. I'll never forget her name, but I'm not going to say it here, obviously, but she was an ENFP, so I was like, oh, this is perfect, let's go hang out. It was it was the worst date I've ever been on. Her pictures were nothing like her. I didn't realize how much angles could make someone look thinner than what they were. I knew she wasn't the most, she wasn't the most athletic person in the pictures, but oh my God, I was this close to leaving, but I'm a gentleman, but I would say about 20 minutes into the date, it was already established that she wanted to have sex, go back to her place, and then go eat after she just spent $50 of my money eating, and I didn't eat a single thing. And she also had a lot of drinks, which I'm going to talk about addiction in another video for ENFPs, but she was extremely promiscuous, and when I told her I wasn't going to go hang out with her anymore, go to dinner 5 minutes after dinner, she basically said, oh, well, there's going to be another guy there. I'm like, go for it. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not promiscuous at all. I'm not driven by sex. So I'm more achievement-based in other areas. So that is number 1 misconception, that all ENFPs can't stay with one single person. They certainly can. I'm living proof. And that we're all promiscuous.
And I think it just comes from finding somebody who you don't get bored with for ENFPs.
We have to be stimulated. Intellectually, I think ENFPs are more, you have to stimulate their minds more than their weenies. I was gonna say wieners, but it came out weenies. I'm 9 years old.
I don't know about that.
The reps are, they're not stimulated by their weenies.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
So first misconception about INTJs, probably the biggest one, I think, is that
Go for it.
They're emotionless, or they don't have feelings, or don't feel anything ever. They're robots. And it can seem that way sometimes, particularly because, the thinking over feeling is so strong. But I know INTJs aren't ruled by their feelings, but they do have them, and they just aren't as, I guess, swayed by them.
Yeah.
But when you do, for me as an INTJ, when I do have a strong feeling about something, it's very strong. It's almost like not all or nothing, but it's very selective, because I'm not going to waste my time getting emotional about things that don't matter.
I feel like an immature INTJ would struggle with showing emotion.
Yeah. It's something that you have to develop, definitely.
Because there are immature versions of our type, and then there are mature types, the mature versions of them, and then you also have the 2 aggressive and
turbulent. And assertive.
Yeah, turbulent. And I'm turbulent, so I'm everywhere. But
And I'm assertive, so it just
Are you really?
is what it is. Oh yeah.
Oh, of course you are. Yeah, definitely. When I first met Lisa, I would never have guessed that she was emotionless. In fact, she was the brightest person that I'd went on a date with in my entire life. She had the most energy. But with INTJs comes the physical touch thing. That's real. They'll touch you because they don't know how to express it sometimes, so they'll just touch you. And it worked. It actually worked.
Yeah.
But Lisa is certainly not emotionless, but she controls her emotions way better than me.
And I think another thing too is that the expectation people have of how to show emotion is another thing, that INTJs aren't going to show their emotion necessarily in stereotypical ways. You know, when I'm listening to Stevie, a lot of the times I'll just look at him without really having a lot of expressions. I'm just kind of so focused on what he's saying and listening and really absorbing it and thinking about it.
That I'll say what will I say when you're doing that?
What?
I'll say, you don't care what I'm saying. You don't give an SH19. You don't care. Even though I know she does, I just mess with her and you go,
Yeah.
I'm listening. And I was like, what'd I say? And then you'll just like repeat verbatim, like as if you're reading a script. Like, oh, wow. I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
it's learning to read an INTJ and how they choose to express their emotions, which isn't going to be probably very flamboyant. Is that all right?
I could not be with another feeling type. I don't think so. I'm so feeling that I feel like we would just depress each other.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's why ENFPs and INTJs work well, is because INTJs have feelings, whether you admit it or not. As an INTJ, they are there, and learning to know how to deal with them and express them, that's something that an ENFP helps with.
Before we get to the next one, we're thinking about learning to trade stock. Well, we're gonna do it, but I told Lisa, like, I can't do it alone because I suffer from FOMO, the fear of missing out. I'm emotionally driven. I'm a risk taker, so Lisa can balance me and say, no, you need to sell. Even though you're at a loss, you need to sell. You're over your 20% safety zone, which if you don't know socks.
Don't even get him started.
You don't know socks?
Seriously, don't even get him started.
And also remember, if you're enjoying this content, please hit that like button and subscribe for more ENFP-ness stimulation and INTJ-ness.
ENF weenie stimulation.
ENF weenie stimulation. Okay, so the next misconception for ENFPs is that we are stupid. In fact, I would say that it's so much the opposite, that ENFPs, if mature, if they allow themselves to be who they are, can be some of the most intelligent people. And there's a reason why there are videos, the ENFP genius. We are certainly the jack of all trades type, so we like to learn a lot about different things. I just learned what the word Renaissance man is, and oh my God, that's like the definition of me. I do coding. I'm learning 3 different languages. I do cardistry, magic. I read. I have a full list that I made. Oh,
and that's
business.
just hobbies. That's not the hobbies. 3 jobs that he has.
Yeah. And so c'est un problème si il y a beaucoup de personnes qui disent il est stupide, mais la raison pour ça c'est parce que je suis un blagueur. J'adore les blagues. Et pour une raison, beaucoup de personnes ils pensent que je suis stupide, mais quand ils me parlent, so basically what that said was, and mon français n'est pas parfait. It's not perfect. Je ne parle pas le français couramment. I don't speak French fluently, but I taught myself French, and then I went and got a degree in French, and I also got a degree in international business. So I love college. I love the achievement of it. I love learning, and I could just go on. Learning is my favorite hobby.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the people getting the impression that ENFPs are stupid, which makes me very mad. I get very defensive from it.
Yeah, you're the most defensive person. I've always had friends who would never stick up for me, and it was sad. And even though I would stick up for people, even though they were wrong, I mean, obviously not murder or anything, but it was refreshing to find someone that was defensive and protective.
I think people get that impression because sometimes an ENFP gets really excited. It can be a little bit of like a shotgun blast of information. It's not
And it's usually childish.
Focus, yeah, and
Vocabulary can drop.
yeah, and also the fact that ENFPs, you know, they have the extroversion. They're trying to entertain people a lot of the time, and so it's kind of like the person who clowns around to make other people laugh, like a class clown type. You know, they're trying to perform and make other people feel happy, and that's how that impression comes across. Yeah. But if you get an ENFP talking about something they're passionate about,
get ready.
Yeah, like they can. I mean, the depth of knowledge is there. It's not.
And we'll make you excited about it too.
Yeah.
Even if you hate it.
So people get the, jester, dance for me, entertain me vibe from ENFPs, which they can do. They're great at that.
Go on.
But
the class
they're very
was
smart.
good.
It's almost like two different sides of it, the same coin.
We're going to get to another one that's really cool. But real quick about the class clown thing, ENFPs are unique class clowns. ESTJs can be class clowns. There's a lot of MBTI that can be class clowns. The ENFP knows when to stop usually because we're so charismatic that I can have the teacher love me and allow me to be the class clown. I had that, most teachers, 90%, there were a few where I had to kind of be more quiet, especially in university, but I still figured out a way to do it. But the teachers usually really liked me because I was respectful and only cracked a few jokes, but I was still the class clown. So
yeah, very good at reading people.
Very much like, if you're like being too much like, but an immature ENFP will not have that empathic ability. I'm sounding freaking smart right now. Okay.
In case you're wondering, INTJs are never the class clown.
No.
Absolutely not.
But if I saw an INTJ, I wouldn't say PB&J. An INTJ in class, I would totally go bugger. Buggers.
Okay. So, misconception number 2 about INTJs is that they are completely not social and don't have friends or don't want friends.
Uh-oh. Is this a true one?
So there is some truth to it, but I think for the most part, it's not like INTJs are socially inept or unable to function in groups. What are you doing?
Being sensual. Go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just trying to be a boyfriend.
Oh.
We don't do that around here. It says pee-pee to wheat. Whoa.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So INTJs, they have usually a small group of people they're very close to. And part of the non-social aspect, I think things like small talk really aren't very interesting to INTJs. We like talking about big ideas and concepts and piecing together different ideas and themes to come up with these big ideas, and theories and problem solving, and not necessarily as much, oh, how's the weather? Did you see what the celebrity did?
Which is why we get along so well.
Right. Because those things, in a lot of social interactions where you don't know the person very well, that's like your safe ground, and I think it's just, for me personally, if I'm talking like that with somebody, it's kind of like, well, are we ever going to talk about something that's worth talking about, or should I just not even bother? But it's not like I don't talk to people or can't talk to people or don't want to. I do enjoy talking to people when they can carry on, an intelligent discussion. And it doesn't always have to be about, great theoretical whatever.
Yeah.
It can be about simpler stuff. That's not...
It just has to be a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it just can't be, yeah.
Are we doing this? No.
But, and yeah, they don't have a huge group of friends. It's a lot to keep up with, especially for an introvert. And, you have your small knit group that you're very close to, that you, again, going back to the emotion thing, that you do care very much for, that you'll do anything for those people. And beyond that, you can socialize. You can go to a party, but it just takes a lot of energy. And then you get to a point where you think, okay, my social battery is on 1%. I got to get out of here.
Yeah. I had so much to add to that, but it's already 16 minutes. We're realizing now that this is going to take too long because we know we've talked about these subjects so much together that we had a lot to say. So we're going to just stick with 3. And the next one I'm going to say, the third misconception of an ENFP is we can't finish things. Yeah, that's a good one. This is really true for a lot of ENFPs, but again, I'm living proof that you can finish things. And there's a huge thing that there's a big thing that I finished. What was I saying? Oh, and I'm a turbulent ENFP, so like right there, I just jump from thing to thing, and I still complete everything. Well, I do a lot of things, but whenever something's important, I will finish it. And I'll usually do it in a timely manner, but it's usually right by the deadline. So I'm an author, and I have finished 13 novels, and that's over 1.5 million words published. So, and I write science fiction fantasy. And for anyone to complete a novel, it's a huge achievement. And I think everyone should try to do it. So if you have that novel idea and you never even start, that's not a problem for an ENFP. Now finishing it, ENFPs usually get bored, but not all of us can't finish things. If it's something important to us, if it's something that is stimulating us, it's something that will help our families make money, we'll finish it. If you're mature and an adult. So yeah, I get off. I finish things.
I'm not even gonna.
Yeah. What's your third?
You're trying to bait me. It's so easy.
I know, I'm trying to bait you.
Okay. Stop.
The channel's called ENFP-ness. People know what they're getting into.
We can't say anything in this house. God.
If you're liking some penis, hit that like button and subscribe and comment down below so far if any of these misconceptions you've met in an ENFP and INTJ.
So just one more, right?
Yeah, for you, one more.
Okay, so I'd say the last one I would want to touch on. What do you think? That one or that one? I'd say probably this one.
Yeah, do that one.
Okay, so INTJs can have sometimes a know-it-all vibe or like a air of arrogance about them. And it's not so much an arrogance isn't the right word. I can see how it comes across that way because, they already have this kind of like cold vibe to them when you talk to them or meet them. But I think where that comes from is that anything that INTJs believe or think is something that they have put a lot of thought into. They don't just willy-nilly choose an idea and believe it and stick with it. It's something that they think very long and hard about.
Don't even start. Oh my God. I'm trying not to interrupt you because you said willy-nilly and I just want to do a willy-nilly, willy-nilly, willy-nilly.
I'm trying to get you, but you're not doing it.
I'm trying to be an adult.
But
I paid my taxes. Let's talk tax.
Stop. So INTJs, they have a know-it-all arrogance to them. And if they're, like Stevie said, there's immature INTJs who are very arrogant and they do think,
know-it-alls.
I'm so much smarter than everybody. I know everything. Everyone else is stupid. And even if they're right, that's not going to help you. Just advice if there's any of those kind of INTJs watching, that's not going to help you.
It's a horrible thing to be a know-it-all. That's one of my least favorite people.
It will, even if you know it all, if nobody wants to hear what you have to say because you're a jerk, then what does it matter if you know it all? Because nobody is going to listen to you ever. So it's something definitely that I've always had to work on, is not bulldozing a conversation when you think an answer to something. Kind of help people come to ideas themselves, and also
that's a great way to go if you're feeling like a know-it-all. Try to bring people to the conclusion of whatever
that you have.
Get
and
that.
Another thing
this was a good one for you.
Yeah,
this was a good one. Yeah, because I could see you being a know-it-all because you're really smart.
Well, and it's very
see
confident.
You wanting to say something about it, and I notice you pull back on purpose.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, and there's usually INTJs, when they do believe something, because they've thought so much into it, that they're very confident in it. And that's where that can also come from, is there's so much confidence that that it becomes arrogance almost. But I will say INTJs are I believe, very good at being open-minded. And if they do see something that isn't something they thought or believed, but that they see value in, or see the validity, of an opinion or a way of doing things, that they're very open-minded into saying, hey, that's a better way, let's switch to that. After obviously putting thought into it, which is like me as a manager at my job, that's something that you always have to be listening to what other people are saying and really weighing other opinions versus your own and picking the best out of all of those.
I want to talk about you being a manager in one of the videos because they say ENFPs can make good managers. I wouldn't make a good manager. I'm not very confrontational. I can be, but when I'm confrontational, it's usually overly aggressive because I'm a feeler. And but with the manager thing, I like to start and I like to rile people up, and as soon as they're going, I just like back off. So it's like the Titanic, I built the Titanic. I'm like, come on guys, let's go, and then I'm on the shore going, and I broke the bottle over and like, see you later guys. I'm gonna go build the Hindenburg. All right, I'll see you. Oh my God,
Stevie.
Is it too soon? I studied both of those like last week. See, I'm always learning new stuff. I don't mean any disrespect to anyone. God, I would not make a good conductor because that train would be off those tracks so quick.
You wouldn't be on the train anymore.
Do I know of a popular train wreck?
I don't know.
Me, I'm a popular train wreck. Okay.
The train problem. If it's heading towards 5 people and you can pull a lever and it runs over 1 person, or you cannot do anything and it runs over 5 people, what do?
I rap. I got a great brain because I trained a Great Dane on my train. I'm a little insane.
A little?
I suck on a candy cane. That's my bane. I do it when it rain and I pretend the peppermint stick is an umbrella, which is casa in Japanese. We gotta talk ADHD and ENFP because my mind is just...
Yep.
Why'd I do that? Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this, I had someone comment on a video that as an ENFP, they wish they had an older person for guidance. That is something I've looked for years. Ever since I was little, I wish I just had someone that would help me with my thoughts. We're gonna make videos on that because I study this stuff too much, and I have read, I think it's like through many hours, like 4 months of hours worth of self-help, because I need it. As an ENFP, I need it. As a feeler type. So we're gonna make those videos soon. Remember, please hit that subscribe button, join the family. If you comment down below how you would react to, our types, or if you know, please let us know if you know anyone. Also, it really helps the YouTube algorithm.
And if there's anything that you want us to make a video about, if there's anything you're curious, ENFP, INTJ, just anything in general that you'd like to see, let us know.
So we're gonna do more videos. There's gonna be a part 2 to this, as well as tips and tricks videos, and I think we're gonna even do our separate videos on helping someone. So, anything else?
That's it.
All right, guys, we really appreciate y'all. We love you guys. Thank you so much for the amazing growth of the channel so quickly. It means a lot, and this has quickly became our favorite hobby. So,
and that's his favorite hobby out of like 20, so it actually holds some weight when he says that.
Ça, c'est mon hobby préféré. That's my favorite hobby.
Oui, monsieur.
Oh.
Oui, monsieur.
God. Okay. Bye, guys. Wait, I didn't do something I wanted to do. Milk 'em.
Oh, God. It was so
Oh, now
close.
my nipple's wet.
We were so close without you rubbing your nipples.
I didn't mean to.
On the camera.
Doesn't it bother anyone else that Chucky was in the Rugrats? Like, people would say, oh, Chucky's in there with you in the... Because they would... Oh, wow. When I was bullied, they would throw me in this shed when I was little. And they would say, oh, Chucky's in there. I don't give a crap. Chucky, that red-haired geek, I'll just kick him.
Trust him on like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Spending all night at the studio. Got me fucked up, you assume me slow. Killing the game cause he knew to go. I don't want nothing to do with you. Thinking just winning is all about who we know.